Some eerie sci-fi movie. We are about to show you a tip and trick on how to make a deep drop for fishing deep fluke, a double rig. We use a glow squid for them, so we're going to show you how to make that rig. But I wanted to show you what in the deep darks of 100 foot, when it's dark down there, you know, what a fluke could see. And you know, we like to use a little bit of glow on these rigs. We'll use a double hook tandem. We'll snell 2 hooks, and then we put a glow squid on it. You just zap it. If it's in the sunlight, it'll zap it like that, or if it's overcast, you got a quick little flashlight you can zap it with. But that's what we use. So tips and tricks this week brought to you by boatloans.com. For all your new or refis, go to boatloans.com. If you're looking at a new boat or want to refi your old boat, go to boatloans.com. So when you were talking deep fishing for fluke, we're talking probably like 80 to 100 feet or more. Big fluke, 5 to 10 pound fish here off the coast of Jersey. We got the old grounds, so our components are going to be, this is our glow in the dark B52 squid. This one's, I think they call it cotton candy. It's got some flecks in it, but the main part about these is to have ones that for the glow. We've got our about 24 inches of leader here. We're going to snip that off. This is 40 pound test, and we have 2 hooks we're going to do for our tandem. We got a straight shank, and then I'm going to put on the back one in our tandem. It's going to be a octopus. I usually put them probably about that far apart and use it that way so that you can put a nice long strip bait. You make them a little longer. But you know, the key with this is you're gonna have to leave a really nice long tag end off your front hook. So what we're gonna do, this is your main line right here. Now what we do is we loop this around, leave yourself a good long tag end so that you have plenty in the back to tandem up your hook. So I'm leaving a pretty big tag end there. Off of that. So then what you want to do to snell your first hook is you take and you're going to work towards the back. You're going to come 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I want to run, make sure my main line end runs across the back of the shank of the hook, so that you get it straight coming off when you got the when it's pulling straight. Okay, so keep your loop kind of open. What we're going to do here is just hold it in our mouth so that the loop doesn't kink up and you don't get a kink in your leader. So we're going to pull this end, just pull it down, so without it unraveling. I'll try to show what it's going to look like. There's your loop. This is your end coming off for your second hook. And then your loops are going to just kind of start to pull together. Don't pull it down tight because you want it to cinch up close to the shank. So your line's on top of the hook. Push it down and cinch it. Cinch it down. And that's what you got. That's your first hook. It's coming off your first hook. A little bit of twist in there. But pulled tight up against the eye, it's going to lay the way you want it to lay. And then here we got our tag end to put our second snell. Now we're going to do a different style of snell because we can't work it the way we just did. Alright, with this one, the snell is going to come through the eye of the hook, and then you're going to come back here. You're going to pinch it down, adjust it to the length you want. You know, you're using big fluke bellies, big strip of mackerel, a whole squid down there when you're deep dropping for these fish. So this trailing hook, your stinger, as they call it. So you're going to make a loop with your tag end, and then you're going to kind of cinch that down, get it pressed up against the shank of the hook. You're going to come back around and you're going to work your way towards the bend. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, and I'm going to come through the loop. So you got it where it's going to cinch itself off, and you're going to start working that one down, pulling everything tight, pulling everything tight. So same thing, I use my teeth. My dentist probably don't think too fond of it. So pull it down tight, and then work it towards the eye, and then cinch everything tight up against the bend in the eye. Okay? So you're going to have your main hook. A lot of times with these big Fluke, you're going to catch them on the back one. This kind of helps hold it. And I use a long shanked hook because I like to be able to have the squid. See how the squid's going to come up. It's going to set right there on the body of the squid. It's going to come out just down on the bottom. And then you're going to have this coming back to put your big piece of bait on there. You know, some guys, they'll use, you know, big long strips. You want a big piece of, yeah, these are big fish. You're not looking at you know, trying to catch under 5 pound fish, or trying to catch some 5 to 10 pound and up Fluke, and you know, in these real deep rocky bottoms, you know, some of these deep wrecks, you know, fishing around the edges, you want to use a nice big bait. You can make it shorter, you can make it a little longer. So, but there we go. There we got our tandem. There's our tandem. Kind of wanted this to come a little bit straighter off the back. You can use an upturned eye hook for it, but kind of right there we got what we're looking for. I'm going to trim up the back end of this one, trim that up. Alright, you kind of want the same going in the same direction, so when you're putting a big piece of bait, you hook it up here and then just put this lightly through the bottom for that. Alright, and now what I'm going to add, I'm going to put a bead. We can put a bead or 2 beads down on the top, just so it doesn't pull, you know, pull that squid up too much. So that goes down on that. Go in through the, you know, these B2 squids got a hole in the bottom. They're nice. They're molded with a hole in them. You can come in, you know, push your leader down through here. It'll come out through the top. You're going to bring here all the way down. So, and you're going to pull your hook. You're going to insert your hook. Kind of got to pop it through. So you can find it kind of made itself click. And then you're just going to cinch it down. And then there you go. Your squid. The long trailer. I'll probably make this a little bit shorter next time, but you kind of get the gist of it. You know, you can put a pretty big squid on there. Hook the mantle up here. Hook this one down in towards the head. Keep the head intact. And then it'll pull. Kind of sets everything in line. You know, and these are any kind of species of bottom, you know, bottom fish, flounder. I'm sure you could use them for halibut. So, any deep water gets that glow to it. And then you just hook that through it. Now another tip I like to do is for the base of this, we're going to use a 3-way swivel. You'll tie your line on the one, your rig onto the other, and then I'm going to show you another neat little trick. You know, because you're fishing a lot of these, you're fishing rocky bottoms, and you know, you don't want to lose your whole rig if your dipsy gets hung up in the rocks. So I tie like a breakaway with some wire, but I'll show you that here in a minute. And like I said, You know, these tips and tricks are brought to you by boatloans.com. If you're buying a new boat or you're refinancing your old boat, go to boatloans.com. So, the knot I'm going to show you for this is I'm going to use a polymer knot. Alright? So a polymer knot is you come through once, and then you bring your line around and you make a loop. Alright, so now you have a loop. You have a loop there, and there's your three-way swivel. You're going to tie an overhand knot with the loop, the line loop. So it comes around, you're pinching, so you got your tag loop up here. You're going to come through, it's just a basic overhand knot. You got it there, just an overhand knot. And then you're going to pull your three-way swivel down in here. Now, very important, pull it back over the loops. So it comes back over to the loops. So when you start to pull down, this is going to be your lock. Always a little bit of moisture, and then ease it down and cinch it tight. And that'll lock. That's polymer knot is one of your 98, 99, 100% breaking strength knots. Can be a little bulky, but it's got to make sure that that loop locks down on top. Alright? You're going to trim this back. Always trim my tags pretty tight, pretty close. So your main line is going to tie to here, and then your dipsy is going to come off of here. Now what I do is I take some rigging wire. You can take your rigging wire, you can take regular household wire, you know, just, you know, automotive wire, and just piece of copper and strip it down. But what I do with two pieces of rigging, because it seems that you always have some rigging wire on the boat. So what I do is I just twist them down so it's actually doubled up. And then I just kind of take one end here, go in through this, and then just twist this on your three-way. Kind of get the idea. And then whatever size sinker you're using, whether you're using a you know, whether it's 8 ounces, 10 ounces, 16 ounces, you know, a lot of these clips and everything won't fit on them real big sinkers. So what I'll do then is you know, say this, you know, this is a little bit of a big example, but you go through the loop of your dipsy, and then you can take and you just loop it around and put it down pretty tight. Because a lot of times in these deep, when you get hung up, your actually hooks aren't hung up, it's your sinker. So you give it a real tight tug and it pops loose. You don't lose the whole rig, because you're figuring, you know, 2 hooks, and if you have to buy these, you know, they're not cheap. I'll see them $6.99, $7.99 for these deep drop, you know, Fluke rigs. You can tie them up yourself, but you're still losing, you know, a couple hooks, you know, and and your squids. It's a lot cheaper to just lose a dipsy than it is to lose the whole rig. So once again, there is our tandem hooked rig for your big baits, for your big fluke, with a about a 24-inch leader to a 3-way to a piece of wire for your dipsy, and then you can put big baits for big fluke. Thank you for watching once again. All these tips and tricks are brought to you by boatloans.com. For all of your refis, for all your new boat purchases, go see boatloans.com. Thank you and have a great day.